Hello and welcome back to All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris. I am your host, and my guest today is John Burris, a noted civil rights attorney who has been involved here in Oakland in the so-called Riders case, and essentially, as you heard earlier, knows a lot about what's going on with the federal monitor and the federal judge that's involved here. But John, we only have a few minutes left. Let's talk about what are we looking for in a new police chief, since apparently the mayor has decided there will be a new police chief. So what's your vision of it?
Well, my vision of it is that you need to have a person who has had some command responsibilities before, either a chief or a deputy commander of some kind. And he's done that with a diversified office, from different ethnic groups within a department, including women and different groups. Number two, you'd like to have somebody who has some experience with reform. Somebody who's had to deal with changing a department, changing the culture of a department, and see how that can work and the problems that are associated with that. That's important. And thirdly, I think that it would be best if you had someone from the department that has had enough command experience, who is familiar with the NSA, the settlement agreement, and who understands its dimensions and how to carry it forward, as opposed to someone with no experience. They come in with their own ideas, and they ultimately put forth a change in the NSA that can be very difficult. The changes that we put together in NSA are the best practices that we could develop.
Okay, John, now, in a minute or less, can you look into that camera and give the mayor your best advice in terms of kind of leadership she needs to get the next police chief aboard here in the city?
I would say, Madam Mayor, that look, you need someone with experience, one having some reform experience before, the ability to command, has had command experience, and command experience of different ethnic groups that include all the very kind of people that live here in Oakland, and who is not afraid and has history of imposing discipline when officers get out of line. These are very important traits. I think it should be someone that comes from within a department, who has some experience with reform in the department itself, and can build upon many of the positive changes that have been made. Otherwise, you can be starting all over again and ultimately can be back in the same spot. Command respect is important, and having a consistency of application of the policies and the rules are important, and that's what should take place in terms of an understanding of the new police chief.
And how soon should that be?
Well, as soon as possible, of course. We've had 9 months of no police chief. Once the process has taken place, hopefully, I heard the mayor say by the end of the year, I think that's fine, but it should occur as soon as possible. And the reason being is I don't know that we can get out under the NSA quickly without having a new police chief in place, so that the governor and so that the court can evaluate whether or not he or she is following the policies or not. So the sooner you get it done, the more opportunity there will be to evaluate their performance and their ability to understand and appreciate those issues related to the NSA.
Excellent advice coming from John Burris, noted civil rights attorney. I hope the mayor is listening and will act forthwith. John, it's been a pleasure having you here on All About Community.
Good to be with you as always.
Again, my name is Robert L. Harris. I am your host. And remember this, no matter what you do when you do it, or even how you do it, in the final analysis, it is still going to be all about community. My name is Robert L. Harris. My guest has been John Burris, noted civil rights attorney.